Hey guys, welcome back to Get Going Fast, place where we get into this excellent hobby of AI and hopefully sort of a quick and efficient manner in which we actually might learn something along the way. So today we are going to look at more of a technical issue, fixing up some problems. Sometimes perhaps you have been running an app and you get the dreaded error that says VSINSTALLERDIR not found, or something about your build tools not being able to found, and you're sitting there scratching your head, picking at your scabs, and you're sitting there going, why is this not working? Because I know I've installed build tools, and for whatever reason it says I don't. Okay, well, there's a real simple answer, and the simple answer comes down to environmental variables. So we've talked about that quite a bit in the past. Essentially, your computer has a dictionary of locations where it knows where to find different commands. Okay, so it can look at it and say, we tell it to do something, it goes, oh, do I know this? And it looks over and it goes, oh, I do know this. Okay, what do I do? Oh, this is what I do. Okay, and so sometimes when we install our build tools, for whatever reason, it doesn't make it into our environmental variables. I do not know why, but I do know how to fix it. And so that is great. We're going to do that today. A really easy process. But before we do that, I do want to thank you for liking the video and sharing the channel with your friends. Going to a car dealership and just walking in up to a salesman, and when he says, hey, you want to give one of these bad boys a drive? Be like, no, but I do want to ask you about Get Going Fast, if you've heard of it, and what's your thoughts on AI? And I'm sure that he is going to just be flabbergasted at that and just really be in awe, and maybe he'll even sit on the hood of one of his cars with you and eat a sandwich and have a chat with you about AI. So it's a very normal kind of response to that sort of situation. So thank you for going out and doing that on our behalf. I do want to encourage you to follow us over on X. Go find us on the Instagrams, okay? Come over to Reddit. Man, they treat you like a scumbag at Reddit, but we're going to treat you real nice because I don't think you're scum at all. I think you're a fantastic person. And come over to Discord and hang out with us as well. Share what you're working on and just chat with us. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's dull, but you are going to bring the fun with you, I can tell. Come bring your safe for work stuff, and we'd love to see what you're working on over there. So, all right, in the meanwhile, we are going to move on with getting your Visual Studio build tools fixed up. So let's throw out a yo and get going on with this, okay? Yo. Okay, I am going to go ahead and pop on over to a desktop view here, and let's just show you a few things to get into this. First, if you've had this error, here's a couple things we can do that are going to tell you right off the bat if you've got a problem. So just go to your command line window, okay, and type in the word CL. Now, not to be confused with CLS. CLS is clear screen, but we're just going to type in CL, okay? And that is just going to be our compiler is what that is. And if this pops up, you're actually fine, okay? So it might be something, your issue is going to be something else, then your system can't find your installer. But very likely what's going to happen is you'll type this in, and it's going to say that it doesn't know what the command is. Remember, it goes to a dictionary. It's going to go, do I know CL? It's going to go like, I don't know what it is, okay? And it's going to say, I don't know what it is. So basically the compiler is like, imagine, see, when we install these apps, what happens is that they come in parts, okay? So it's like buying IKEA furniture. So you get a chair, but you don't get the whole chair. You get the pieces of the chair, and you got to put it together. So when we're installing these apps, or installing the dependencies or putting them together, the pieces are there, and we need a compiler. It's like hiring someone that knows how to put this together. And they come in, they say, okay, I'm going to fix it up for you. And okay, here you go. Okay. But when it can't find our compilers, what happens is it's like saying, it goes, okay, I've got all these pieces, I'm ready to go. But I don't know where the guy that does all of the fixing is. Where is he? So I guess I can't do it. Okay. And so that's what happens. By typing that CLL in there, we can confirm or not whether it is finding it. So if it's not finding it, you know that's the problem, okay? We can also type something called VSWare. All right, so VSWare, same thing. That tells you where your Visual Studio build tools are. If you do not see this pop up, again, the problem is that your system doesn't know where to find it, okay? And that's why you're getting the VSINSTALLEDIR errors, or it can't compile because of the build tools. So we're gonna fix this really quickly, okay? So essentially these live in folders on your computer. So there's a few things that we're gonna do to even make sure you even have them, but you gotta know where they're at. So what we'll do is open up your browser, okay? And what we're going to do is pop on over to my website, cognibuild.ai. Okay, get over to here and then click on the blog button. Okay, it's going to come up. You'll see this one. It says VSINSTALLERDIR not working. CL or VSWare not found. That's what we're going to look for. Now, if you're finding this in the future and you don't see this, you can just go to the search bar and type VSINSTALL, and it will go ahead and find it amongst all of the stuff. So just click it, and what you're going to see is that I have 3 file locations. And what we're going to do is we're going to add these to our environmental variables. Okay, so we need to confirm that these exist on your computer. So we'll do that in a second. But first, let's go ahead and pop up our environmental variables. So to do that, on your mouse, on your keyboard, click the Windows key, or go over here and click your Windows and type the letters ENV. It's going to come up and it's going to say edit the system environment variables. So we'll click that. It's going to bring up this window, and you'll notice down here it says environmental variables. So let's click that. Now we've got 2 areas up here. So this is for local variables. That means just your user account. And this is system variables, meaning all the user accounts. So when you're installing stuff and it says, do you want to install this for just yourself or for everyone? This is just for you. This is for everyone. So we're going to go down here to the everyone one, and we want to scroll down to where it says path, and we're going to click this. So path, again, it's basically saying, whatever we type in here, we want access to whatever's in that folder. So if we type CL, it's going to go through these lists and say, I have all these locations. I'm going to check these locations. Does that exist in any of these locations? Okay, if not, throw an error. If so, oh, cool, run it. Okay, so we're going to click path and click edit. And then you'll see all of this stuff. You should have some different things in here. Okay, now down here, I've got them in here. Okay. You'll see something that says Microsoft Visual Studio, Windows Kits, Visual Studio. If you have those in there, you're doing fine, okay? If they're in there and you're still getting those errors, like over here, it's saying not found, then there's something wrong with the location. So we'll still need to fix that, okay? So I'm going to delete these just so that I can re-add them with you, okay? So I'm going to click delete, we'll click delete, click delete, okay? Now I'm going to show you here. If I click OK on all this stuff, if I go close this out and I pop this bad boy back up, now if I type CL, it's going to say it's not recognized, okay? Because it's not in the environmental variable list. So let's go back and add those in there. But what we need to do first is we need to make sure they exist, okay? So one of the issues you might be having is that you just didn't install it. So let's confirm first whether you have even installed it correctly. So the build tools, that is. So let's click here on our File Explorer, and let's pop that File Explorer. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put this over here so that I can see this while also seeing this. So let's see, it says Program Files 86. So let's go click our C drive. And we're going to see I've got one called Program Files, but I got another one called Program Files X86. That's the one we want. So let's click it. Then it says go to our Microsoft Visual Studio. Oh, there it is. If you do not have this in here, you haven't installed it. Okay, so this will be your first clue if that's not there. But we'll click it here. Then notice it says 2019. So there we go. Now I know a lot of you have like 3 or 4 of these in here. My suggestion is you get rid of all of them that you don't need and grab the 2019, because that's one we work with Get Going Fast, works best with all your AI tools. So we click 2019. Notice it says build tools, so we'll click there. Then it says VC. There's tools, MSVC. And then now notice I got a big number that goes here. Now, if you have a different number, it's okay. Click into it and we'll see if there's other stuff here. You should have a bin, your host 64, and then your x64. And then you'll notice, oh, well, here there's all that stuff. So this is where everything is. You'll notice there's cl.exe. So what we can do is a couple things. Is if you follow the directions perfectly here, you can just copy it off of the drive here. But another easy way is just click up here. It'll highlight the whole file, and then just click Control X to copy it. Okay. Control X actually cuts it, but I like doing a cut just because you make sure you got it. Control C doesn't always work. So we go here to our paths, we click Edit, and then I'm going to click New, and I'm going to paste that in there. Okay. Now I can click OK, but notice it's going to close it again. So then you just got to open it again. So you can always press Enter. But let's go back. We'll come back to this in a second. Let's go back and get our second one. Make sure it's there. So go back to our program files. Okay, x86. So we can just click up there to get back into it. This one says we need something called Windows Kits. Okay, then we look for our number 10. It says look for bin. And then notice I got a bunch of numbers, but I'm looking for this 19041. So we're going to click that. And then it says x64. Okay, so there we go. There's a whole bunch of stuff again. So let's click. Oh, shit. Okay, let's click on that. Grab that. Okay, now we're going to pop back over to here. I'm going to click New. I'm going to paste that in there. Control V. Great. I'm just going to hit Enter this time because I don't want to close it out. All right. Now let's go back and get our last one. So I'm going to be going back to the program files x86. So I'm just going to go click here. That'll take me straight there. Then I go back to my Microsoft Visual Studio, 2019, my build tools, VC, auxiliary, build. Okay, there it is. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to copy that. Go back here. I'm going to click New, Control V. Now I'm going to press OK. I'm going to press OK, and then I'm going to press OK again. All right, and we have successfully added those. So now, if we pop this bad boy up, okay, and if you had any of these open, you need to close them and then reopen them because it resets it. Okay, now if I type in CL, notice it finds it. Okay, now if I type in VSWare, notice it finds it. Okay, so if you have done this, you're set. Okay, now what I would do is go back and either try starting your app again or just reinstall your app. Okay, if your app was running a Conda environment, then remove the Conda environment, start it over from the scratch, and then do everything now that everything's there. Okay, if you went through those commands or you went to these directories and there was nothing there, that means you need to install the build tools. So go back to the blog, and you'll notice I've got pinned up here, installing Visual Studio 2019. Go here, highlight this, copy it, go to your browser, and just paste that in. And you will need to install that, okay? I have other videos that will show you how to do that. It's not that difficult. You just have to... it'll load up, and then just down in the bottom right, you'll click install. But I have a video that will show you how to do that to make sure you know what you're doing as well. And that really is it. That should get you going. And that's huge. Okay. That is such a frustrating error to get. So I'm glad that we got the fix. Shake your hand, pat me on the back. I feel good. I've helped. I've done my good deed for the day. I really do want you guys to enjoy this hobby. And like I said, you have to put a little bit of work into this stuff. But when you do, it's so satisfying because then stuff works and you just do amazing things. Just incredible stuff you can do with AI. And I really want you to enjoy that. So speaking of which, we have over on the Get Going Fast page, do I have that up here? Nope, I guess not. Every week I'm doing something that is called a flagship project, where essentially we're going to take a couple different softwares that we're working with, and I'm going to give you something to build. Okay, so that way you say, oh, okay, well, what can I do this? I'm going to say, build this. And we'll work on that together during the week. And on Wednesdays, we'll have a live question and answer where you can actually join in and talk with me live, and we can ask questions about anything you want. Okay, that is for farmhand members, our ranch members, and our gunslingers. So come over and join, and you can totally be part of that. Would love to have you. Speaking of which, the rancher and gunslinger tiers, those are higher level tiers, and those can actually grant you access to direct communication with me. So we actually can do some Zoom stuff, get your system set up, work on some different stuff. So think about that as well. Would be happy to bring you into the fold. All right. Well, we're going to end it up there. If you did like this video or it helped you in some way, feel free to give me a super thanks down there. It gives a couple bucks into my pocket, and it keeps me going down the road, because I do this full time for the love of AI. So you guys hang in there. We will catch up with you, and as usual, we'll see you on the other side, yo.